Good evening, everyone. So today is Tuesday, the 12th of May, 2026. We're all participating in this evening chanting to show our respect and veneration to the Buddha for his kindness and compassion. So when we look at the Buddha's teachings, it clearly says that no one is perfect until one has attained the liberation or the Arhat. Even the Arhats, they have a different capabilities or qualities, not the same. But those who haven't or attained the Arhatship, we all have deficiencies in different ways, one way or another. However, we always think that we are perfect, we are good, we are the best. Despite knowing that we are not perfect, but we always try to be perfect. Sometimes people behave differently, and simply those behaviors are the manifestations of each individual's character or the deficiencies that they have, and try to hide it with the different acts or behavior. As a result of that, each individuals in the community are different. We're all different. We are different from very beginning because we're born differently, and with our birth we also brought different understanding, different qualities, different knowledge, different way of thinking, and so on. And not only that is the beginning of the differences, but also the communities that we brought up. Each communities teach differently. And since we brought up in that community, then we think that that community is me, that community is mine, I am this. We develop. And then with that development, then again that also creates some other deficiencies too. Conceit comes, ego develops, and so on. So that's why our society is not that calm or in harmony. Each individuals think that they are special, and they are each individuals think that they are perfect and they don't have any deficiencies. But the Buddha's teachings clearly says that we all have deficiencies in one way or another. Deficiencies, let's say materially or financially. Some may are abundant with the wealth, others are not. Some may be comfortable with the financial or having a good house to live or a good car to drive, and no need to worry about the financial instability. But many are still suffering from that, which is inevitable. We all have that. And that is the reason why the Buddha learn to give. That's called a generosity. So we have to learn to give. Learn to share. Share things whenever it's possible. And according to the teachings, it's always possible. And if you're sharing material things, which we can start from giving food, giving shelter, so these are some of the small things that really helps others, those who are in need. So this way of a practice actually supports the social solidarity. That's why the first principle that we have to think about is the generosity, or learning to share. And that learning to share, we may think is just a simple task, but it has very deep meaning. Understanding others' difficulties. Not only others' difficulties, we also understand our own self. Sometimes when we don't see others suffering, then we think that our problem is bigger than anybody else. But the very moment when you see that there are many who are going through the difficult time, they don't have food to eat, they don't have a shelter to stay, then this little sharing has got a lot of meaning. So this is called the first act of a solidarity, is learning to share. And the second one, now this is a bit of a mental thing. We all are a victim of the words that we say or that we hear. Whether the goodwill or whether the unhappiness. When somebody says, then they can be feel unhappy. And sometimes we feel very down. We feel very emotionally unstable. We feel very different. And that situation, if somebody speaks kindly, or if someone is there to listen, that uplifts all the heavy hearts. So that's the second task. If we really want to have a social solidarity in the community, then that's the second task, that learn to speak kindly with a compassion. Who knows, sometimes that single act can save that person's life. I don't remember who told me this story a few weeks ago or about a few months ago. I heard this story that one lady was in the shopping mall, I think Mauritian or Asda, and she was behaving very badly because she's going through very traumatic life. And this lady happened to be our members, was also shopping, and I think she was also she also got that vibe, and then she, if I remember correctly, asked this lady that, "Are you okay?" And this lady said that she is okay. But again, are you really okay? And then that's how the simple act of a kindness, speaking to this lady, in a way made her day. So this fragile lady was going through very difficult time, very down and feeling very down, and speaking politely, and the speech was more of opening that person's heart, really help that person. So that's why second task, if we really want to see the social solidarity or social harmony, then the second task is to speak, to fulfill the deficiencies that one is going through. We all need that encouragement or that mental support. We never know when we are going to face with these difficulties and we can't express out due to these different circumstances. And yet, a simple task of asking can change very dramatically to that person's life. That's why there are many adverts regarding it too, that just ask. And that is the speaking, is the second one, that we need to speak politely, agreeable, and also speaking that leads to the goodwill. But oftentimes when we see someone is down, rather than helping, we add more fuel to it, and that's really drains their energy and can cause a big trouble. So that's called the kindly speech, or piya vacha. Following that, the third one is the art of service. It's called attachariya. Art of a service, again, this is an interesting one. Doing things for the others' benefit, acting for the public good, supporting others in moral practices or moral conduct. And here, again, there are things, limited things that we can do. There's so many things that we can't. Sometimes we may think that we can, but we can't. So that's also another deficiency that we have. We can't do everything by ourselves. Doesn't matter how many degrees you have. Doesn't matter how much you have experience about working, but you still can't fix everything out. So that's our deficiency. Like when I was studying at the University of Aberdeen, I went up to the library and began to look at the books on Buddhism and Buddhist psychology. And I was amazed to see that many books in the library on Buddhism. On Buddhism. So there are many things that we can, and there are lots of things that we can't. So in order to fulfill that gap, that's why we need to have this third practice is the service. Serving others, or called the voluntary work. That's a very famous one. We have volunteering for the others' good. That's called attachariya. This again is the third quality that really helps to build a harmonious community or society. A society that doesn't have that qualities of helping to one another, then that can be a troublesome. As a result, I think in UK communities, you can see some signs saying that neighborhood community or neighborhood watch. So helping one another, that is also comes under this principle, serving others or act of a service. And that really brings the solidarity. And it's not just expecting someone to help us, but we are out there helping. Now further on, we have to have so-called samana tata, balance and impartial behavior. Samana tata, not biasness. Here, not narcissist, not being a narcissist. Basically, suitable in conduct or conduct practicing, not being conceited. One is neither arrogant in whichever position they are in, no one overly submissive as a subordinate. And here the samanatata means ability to provide or ability to behave oneself in similar patterns rather than different patterns, so-called theory of a chaos, which we are in at the moment. And it's been 2 years that the whole world is in chaos, called a chaos theory, creating chaos by not following certain standard rules or certain standard agreements. And that causes more trouble in the society. Whereas if we practice the samanatata, means we've been able to behave similar at all the time, not ups and downs like weather in Aberdeen. Today we had the rain and then wind and then the sun, alternatively taking place. Not like that, or not swinging emotions. Sometimes it's also known as a manipole, and we blame for manipole. This is because of having a manipole. So this is again is a deficiency that we are not able to keep ourselves in the standard way, and we like to be chaotic. So now these are the 4 principles or the virtues that we have to think about it if we really want our community to be harmonious or a social solidarity is there. So number 1 is the dana, giving. Number 2, speaking kindly. Number 3, act of a service. And number 4, balance mind. So these are the 4 virtues to develop or to develop a social solidarity or social harmony to overcome deficiencies that each and individuals have in different aspects, different forms. So we all have that deficiencies, and however we survive because of many others' support that we are receiving to fulfill these deficiencies. So these are the 4 virtues of a social solidarity. So I stop here. So may you all be well and happy, and may you be enlightened. So with this, let's do the chanting.